Hi, good morning. Julia again here. Today I want to talk about something, and in this video today, I'm gonna have to mention a few Bible verses here and there that I think are important because the subject it touches religion a bit. So these days, guys, you cannot see something wrong or someone do something that is sin or that is incorrect, biblically incorrect, and mention it. Say, for example, you see someone doing a sinful act, or maybe you see somebody bow before an image to worship that image or to pray through that image, or something like that. The moment you point that out, people will go into saying, you are judgmental when it comes to issues of religion. You cannot judge. Are you yourself perfect? And so on. And I understand. There's verses in the Bible that speak about that. For example, in Matthew chapter 7, from verse 1, it says, "Judge not, and you shall not be judged. For with the same measurement, or with the same judgment that you judge, you shall be judged. And whatever measure you measure out, it shall be measured unto you." So it goes on to say, why do you look into your brother's eye and see the splinter, and yet you ignore the big log which is in your eye? And also Romans chapter 5, verse 2 to around 4 says that you are inexcusable when you judge others and do the same thing, that you will not escape the judgment of God. So yes, but at the same time, I want us to understand that these verses are saying that don't judge someone while you are doing the same thing. It means that you must correct yourself before you can point a finger at someone. Okay, so does that actually mean that then we cannot really point out people's mistakes, or we cannot judge ourselves, or we cannot correct ourselves? Because the Bible also has a place for that. When you look at 1 Corinthians, I'm going to open there. 1 Corinthians is chapter, I believe, 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Chapter 5. Yeah, verse 12 and 13. It says, what is it to me also to judge those who are outside? Do you not judge those who are inside? But God judges those who are outside. Therefore, put out from you the evil one. Or the other verses say the evil brother. So these two verses are saying that for believers, we have to judge ourselves. We have to judge ourselves. We have to correct ourselves. Let God judge those who are outside. But as believers, we have to correct ourselves and put out from our midst the evil brother. We have to take that. Even Galatians, I believe it's Galatians chapter 6. Let me open there. This one has just come to my mind. Galatians chapter 6. Yes, verse 1 says, "Brothers, if a man is overtaken in a fault, you the spiritual ones, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted." Paul is saying here that you who are spiritual, and he says there are people who are spiritual, even though we don't want to acknowledge. You say, okay, why are you judging? Are you more spiritual than others, and so on? But Paul is saying that the spiritual ones should restore someone in the spirit of humility, in the spirit of meekness, but also be careful that you are not tempted while doing that. So this means that we have to correct one another. We have to restore one another. You see? Because Just see, for example, the prophets in the Old Testament who rebuked people, who rebuked nations, whole nations. You think they were perfect? You think they did not have any sin or anything to correct in their lives? Sure they did. Sure they did. But God used them. Has God stopped using imperfect people in our time? Or has God stopped using people at all? Because then that means that, God cannot use anyone anymore if God has to choose someone imperfect to correct another or to point out a sin. Because there is no one who is perfect. There is no human being who is perfect. But Paul says there is someone who is spiritual, who has a spiritual understanding of things, who has a biblical understanding of what is and what is not. And the Bible is actually our manual as Christians. So when we see something that is not biblical, we shouldn't really rely on tradition and so on, because Jesus rebuked the Pharisees and says that they made the word of God of no effect because of their traditions. And so many of us have made the word of God of no effect because of traditions. We think the church tradition matters even if it's not written in the Bible, as long as the church tradition, even if it's outright antichrist or demonic, as long as it's church tradition, you cannot judge, you don't know about spiritual things, blah blah blah. I don't know. But me, I think that we need to correct one another. We cannot watch and see somebody going wrong and say because we cannot judge, we are not going to speak about it. It's wrong. Thank you for watching. I know this video is long, almost 7 minutes, but thank you for watching this one. And please share. And I want to know your opinion in the comment section. God bless you.